Chapter 3405. The twins fell silent again. Now let me ask you, why did you do this? Huamin asked. Little Bean glanced at her sister, trying to figure out what her sister meant. After a moment of hesitation, Pudding decided to tell the truth. Otherwise, with her intelligence, her mom would have guessed it. Mommy, we just wanted to help handsome Su check Auntie Zheng Ro's character. So, Su Yu is an adult and doesn't have enough intelligence, so he needs the help of 3-year-old kids, right? No, Mommy. Pudding, Little Bean, Mommy is heartbroken. Daddy and I have been so busy with work that we neglected to educate you. I thought you two were obedient and sensible, but I didn't expect you to be so stupid when it comes to Su Yu's private life. Mommy, handsome Su treats us like his own children and we think it's our duty to do something for him. You had good intentions, but what you did was ridiculous. Do you think Auntie Zheng can't see it? If Zheng Ro is smart, she can pretend to like you and get along with you and pretend to be a good person. If she has a bad temper and treats you badly, it doesn't mean she's a bad person. Maybe she just doesn't like you too. Your logic is ridiculous. Sis, you can't blame them for this. Lu Yen had never seen her sister scold the kids, so she tried to defend them. Yen, if you say one more word, you'll get out of the car and take a taxi to the hospital to find me. I'll shut up. Lu Yen didn't dare to say more and had to leave the kids to their own devices. Mommy, let me ask you, does handsome Su love us? Pudding suddenly got the courage to stand up and ask Huamin. He does. He's so nice to us. What's wrong with us caring about his private life? Pudding continued. That's right. Handsome Su has always been popular with women. With his status, besides the actresses from Imperial Star, he also has a lot of socialites, models, and hosts. What's wrong with us helping him distinguish the good from the bad? Pudding said. That's the problem. Su Yu is a smart man with a high IQ. He was a soldier and a businessman. Besides his family background, he got all his achievements by himself. He's not a good-for-nothing and can't be tested by you too. Su Yu knows what kind of person Zheng Ro is. What you did to Zheng Ro today would seem spoiled and uneducated in the eyes of outsiders. Mommy, we're not. Little Bean felt that her mommy's words were too harsh, so tears welled up in her eyes. His voice was also as soft as a mosquito's. Mommy, I don't agree with you. I think we're doing this for handsome Su's sake. Auntie Zheng Ro seems okay for now, but we need to observe her later. Whether Su Yu is with Zheng Ro or any other woman, you're not allowed to interfere in this matter, including me and your dad. Our family is close to the Su family, but we're not close enough to tell Su Yu who he's with. Love is limited to the feelings of the people involved. You're still young and don't understand some things. Huamin thought the kids were still young and couldn't talk too much about the godly things. They might not understand it immediately. Mommy, don't be angry. You're pregnant with little brother. Little Bean cried and apologized to her mother. Hearing her sister's words, the domineering Pudding softened. Are you guys still curious about how I know all this? Huamian asked. The kids looked at each other, thinking their mommy had guessed correctly. Do you also think it's most likely Zheng Ro called me and told on you? Huamin asked. So, it's her. Pudding looked at her mother calmly, eager to know the answer. Chapter 3406. It wasn't her, Huamin said calmly. The twins were surprised. After all, other than Zheng Ro, who else could snitch on them? Auntie, was it you? Little Bean turned to look at Lu Yen. Do you think your auntie is that kind of person? Snitching every day? Lu Yen was skeptical. Mommy, how did you know about this? Little Bean was puzzled. If Zheng Ro didn't say anything, the others wouldn't snitch on them. I saw it on the surveillance camera in the hospital, Huamin said calmly again. Surveillance camera? Little Bean was surprised. Oh, I know. Mommy must have gone to the hospital to pick up Auntie and found she was discharged. Then she checked the surveillance camera and heard our conversation at the door. Huamin nodded. It seems we misunderstood Auntie Zheng Ro. We really thought it was her. Little Bean bit her lip and said in a low voice. Whether she snitched on us or not, I must tell you seriously that you can't meddle in Su Yu's affairs anymore. Huamin's expression was still serious. Mommy. Little Bean began to play coy. Don't play coy. I'm talking about a very serious problem. Don't you think you've meddled enough? Huamin's face was cold. That's because we don't treat ourselves as outsiders. Handsome Su treats us like family, Little Bean argued. But as family, you should give him some space. Even Lord Su and Grandma Su didn't meddle this time. But you're making trouble for him. Scolded by their mommy, the twins lowered their heads and didn't speak. This is my first and last warning about breakfast. You're on your own now. Then Huamin looked out the window. We've arrived at the school. Get out of the car. Goodbye, Mommy. Goodbye, Auntie. Little Bean got out of the car listlessly with her backpack. Goodbye, Mommy. Goodbye, Auntie. Pudding also seemed to feel wronged. She couldn't see the problem from a mother's point of view and still felt that she was too strict with them. After the kids got out of the car, Lu Yen walked up to Huamin and held his arm. Sis, just now, weren't you a little too much? No. I think the two kids are scared. Lu Yen felt sorry for the two kids. Lu Yen, don't be fooled by their looks. They have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. They pretended to be pitiful so that I won't blame them anymore. Do you think they're really scared? Your family members are so complicated. Lu Yen thought it was hard enough to get along with the family of 4. If the third kid came out, would they make a scene? Yeah. Do you think it's easy to educate kids? You gave birth to them and brought them into the world, so you have to teach them how to be a good person instead of letting them fool around. I don't want to raise 2 kids with princess syndrome. I don't want people to say that I, Huamin, didn't teach my kids well. Whoa. Sis, you're still young. Don't talk like a mother. It's depressing to hear it. Let's not talk about them. Didn't you take me to the checkup? Huh? Lu Yen didn't want to talk about parenting with her sister. After all, she didn't even know how to be in a relationship. At Southside Recuperation Center, Huamin didn't let Lu Yen go until he made sure she was fine. Soon, Zheng Rou arrived too. She came alone in a taxi, which surprised Huamin. He had thought Su Yu would come with her. Dr. Hua, I'm here. Zheng Rou knocked on the door. Chapter 3407. Come in. Huamin sorted out the data sheets on the desk and stood up. Zheng Rou walked in and glanced around Huamin's office. She heard that she was now a deputy director, but her office wasn't luxuriously decorated or bright. Instead, it looked like an ordinary doctor's office. Most importantly, it was simple and clean. Sit down. What would you like to drink? I can do it myself. Seeing Huamin's pregnant belly, Zheng Rou didn't want her to pour herself water. Huamian didn't argue. She nodded and handed the disposable cup to her. There are tea and coffee downstairs. Pour yourself some. Okay, I'll just drink some water. Zheng Rou poured herself a cup of water from the water dispenser and sat down on the black sofa. Both of them were silent. Huamin received an internal call and assigned some tasks. Zheng Rou sat there and waited quietly. After Huamin hung up the phone, she said hesitantly, Dr. Hua, let me. Okay. I heard you hurt your leg. Let's go to the orthopedics department. Before Zheng Rou could react, Huamin took her to the orthopedics department. Obviously, she was familiar with the doctors in the orthopedics department. After taking Zheng Rou's x-ray, a nurse helped her to rest. Huamin held the x-ray and discussed something seriously with the chief physicians. After a while, Huamin walked over. Do you still feel pain in your leg? Not usually. But if you walk too fast or walk too much, you will. Yes, we found out that you might have gotten out of bed before you recovered from your injuries. Moreover, you exercised quite a lot and were too active, which caused a small bone to be dislocated. Huh? Is it serious? Do I need surgery? At the mention of surgery, Zheng Rou was frightened. It's not that bad. You just need to continue to rest. You can't walk around too much. I'll prescribe you some anti-inflammatory medicine. Remember to take it. The weather is hot now, so you must change the medicine in time. If it's not convenient for you to come, I can ask the nurse to change it for you at home. That's not necessary. I can't stay idle. I'm bored at home. I'll just come and change once a week. Yes, that's fine too. At this time, The nurse who had been sent away by Huamin came back with a bag full of medicine. There were both Chinese and Western medicine, and they all looked quite expensive. Take these back. There's a list inside that will tell you how to eat them. You have to eat them on time. Okay. How much is it? Where do I pay? Zheng Rou stood up to grab her purse. No need, I've already settled the bill. Ah? How can I do that? How can I do that? Zheng Rou was a bit embarrassed. She didn't know Huamin that well, and it wasn't appropriate for her to ask him to spend money on her. It's okay. You're Su Yu's friend, so you're also my friend. Then, Huamin handed the medicine to Zheng Rou. Little Cui, call a taxi for Miss Zheng and send her to the car, Huamin said. Okay, Vice Director. Huamin, thank you. Zheng Rou felt warm in her heart. In all her life, other than her parents, no one had ever been so nice to her and even called a taxi for her. All the people Zheng Rou knew about her identity and wanted to use her to get on her father's good side. So, she wasn't used to Huamin being so nice to her all of a sudden. Watching Zheng Rou walk away, Huamin's expression changed. At noon in the cafeteria of Southside, sitting across from Huamin was Lady Su. Ever since Huamin found her a management job in the hospital, Lady Su had been very active and came to work almost every day. She was kind and had a good relationship with many young nurses. Of course, some of them wanted to get close to Su Yu to get close to Lady Su. Mian, what do you think? What do you think of the kid's character? Lady Su asked eagerly. Chapter 3408. Her character. It looks good for now, Huamin said slowly. What do you mean by, okay? Mrs. Su was probably too worried about her son. She didn't want her son to be impatient. She could only ask Huamin for help. Huamin didn't want to test people. While the twins were fooling around, she went to Su Yu's house. Then she would have a chance to talk to Zheng Rou without being suspected. Auntie Su, Zheng Rou, how should I put it? She looks good. She doesn't look like a bad person. But there's one thing I'm curious about. What is it? With her family background, it shouldn't be hard for her to find a boyfriend. Why does she have her eyes on Su Yu? I think she moved here too suddenly and is too enthusiastic about Su Yu. How should I put it? It's just a feeling. I don't have any proof. Auntie, don't take it seriously. I haven't thought it through yet. Huamin analyzed slowly while eating. But I asked Xiaomei Yu's aunt. She said she's known Zheng Rou for years and has a good reputation in the provincial capital. She's a good girl. You can't say that. Auntie, think about it. Song Yisher has a good reputation and is a top student who came back from abroad. She's well educated. My mother-in-law was also fooled by her. That's what I'm afraid of. No matter how good Xiaomei's words are, I still have lingering fears. Mian, you're a smart girl. You and Chu will help us by helping you. Lady Su liked Huamin very much and had been close with him for years. She treated him as her own child and said whatever she wanted to say. Huamin nodded. Not really. But Auntie Su, with your help, I'll do my best. I'll keep an eye on Zheng Rou. If I find she's a threat to Su Yu, I'll tell you. You listens to you the most. Don't let him be charmed by this woman and find out she has ulterior motives. It'll be too late. I don't think so. I asked Qin Chu to investigate Zheng Rou's background for me. Her father's position has been stable and he hasn't been transferred recently. I don't think he'll let his daughter get close to Su Yu and use his influence to get a promotion. Besides, at his age and position, he doesn't have much room for promotion. Zheng Rou hasn't interacted with Su Yu in the past few years, so I'm confused by her sudden appearance. But we can't assume the worst. Maybe she really likes Su Yu. It'll be great if she really likes him. It'll be a happy marriage. Distance tests a horse's strength, and time reveals a person's heart. Although I'm anxious about Yu's marriage, I still need to know the person first. Auntie Su, you're wise. Huamin admired this senior who never messed around and knew when to stop. But my generation is old. It's the age of the internet. The world belongs to you young people. Lady Su smiled and didn't say more. After the inspection, Lu Yen went out to have fun. She found it hard not to spend money when she was free. Maybe it was because she had too much money. So, She rushed into the mall and bought a lot of things for Huamin and his family. Finally, she stood at the entrance of the mall with big and small bags in her hands, wondering how she could carry so many things. She asked her subordinates to come down. Lu Yen thought it was too ostentatious and didn't want to be with them. It was annoying to have 4 or 5 subordinates wherever she went. Finally, an idea came to her. She picked up her cell phone and called an, "Hello? Who's this?" and looked at the unfamiliar number curiously and almost thought it was a scam. "Hello, sir. I'm from the XX Public Security Bureau. Our bank found that one of your cards has recently spent 183 million yuan overseas. Did you spend it yourself?" Lu Yen tried hard not to laugh. Chapter 3409. I spent it, and had seen too many scams like this, so he answered calmly. "Damn it. I didn't know you were so good at bragging. You look so honest." Lu Yen couldn't help but raise her voice. "Lu Yen," and seemed to recognize her voice and chuckled to himself. "It's me. I'm going to be crippled. Come and help me." "You fought with someone?" and was scared out of his wits. "I'll tell you when you get here. I'm at the entrance of Time department store. I'll give you 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. Hey, I'll talk." Before and could finish his words, Lu Yen hung up the phone in a domineering tone. She's so arrogant now? She fought in front of a department store? The more An thought about it, the more scared he became. Although they hadn't known each other for a long time, An knew Lu Yan's simple and violent personality. He knew she was the kind of woman who would fight without warning, so he immediately turned around and asked for leave from Suyu. "President Su, I want to take leave." Suyu buried his head in the files. "Don't mess around, President Su." "Am I messing around or are you messing around? You're single like me. Why do you need to take leave?" Suyu seemed to know his sidekick very well. "Dr. Hua's sister is fighting with someone. I have to go and help her." "Fighting?" Suyu looked up. Lu Yen has a bad temper. She's only been here for a few days, but she's fighting almost once a day, and counted on his fingers. Lu Yan's not easy to deal with either. Suyu felt a headache coming on. She has a good personality. At least she's simple, and bit his lips and said shyly, "Forget it. I don't like her. If I marry her, I'll have to worry about her." Suyu shook his head. Although he had a bad temper, the girl he liked had the opposite personality. Suyu liked quiet girls. Of course, it was only after he fell in love with Huamin that he concluded that he liked someone with a high IQ, who was calm and steady, and who had an indifferent personality. Suyu thought that Lu Yen was like gunpowder and would explode at the slightest touch. Normal men wouldn't be able to stand her. Of course, the man who could become Lu Yan's other half couldn't be an ordinary man. "All right, President Su, I'm leaving." "Oh yeah, I'm driving the Lamborghini." As An spoke, he walked to the table, took the key and left. "Hey, this kid. I'm not done yet." Suyu looked at An's anxious back view and smiled helplessly. In fact, it wasn't too far from Imperial Star to Time department store, but because they were both in the city center, there was a lot of traffic. Xiaoan was afraid that he would miss the appointment, so he sped all the way out of the door. Moreover, he sped all the way through small holes. At this time, he didn't care about breaking the rules and just sped all the way. Finally, the car stopped in front of Lu Yen at the appointed time. "How was it? I'm not late, right?" And got out of the car, pant. "No, it's exactly 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Lu Yen smiled. "Where is he?" And looked around but didn't see anyone else. "Who is he? Didn't you say you were going to cripple me?" "Yeah. Look at all these things. How can I carry them? My hands will be crippled if I carry them back." Lu Yen pointed at the trophies on the ground. "And what are you waiting for? Help me carry them." Seeing that Lu Yen was fine, and was relieved. When he took the things from Lu Yen, he accidentally noticed a detail. Lu Yan's palm was full of calluses. It didn't look like the delicate hand of a girl in her early 20s. "What are you looking at?" Lu Yen patted An on the shoulder. Chapter 3410. Your hands? An looked at Lu Yan's hands and didn't know what to say. Oh, my skin is rough. I can't help it. Lu Yen smiled faintly. How did you get it? I was born with it. And, seeing Lu Yen lie so confidently, and didn't know what to say. Where are we going now? Do you want me to drive you back to South Hill Manor? And asked. It's still early. Let's have lunch together. I want to thank you for coming to my rescue. Lu Yen smiled from the passenger seat. Lunch is fine, but you have to promise me one thing. How dare you bargain with me when I'm treating you to lunch? Kid, do you want to die? Lu Yen looked at him amused. I don't care. If you don't promise me, I won't eat lunch with you. And was determined. But tell me, what's the matter? Can you promise me that you won't fight with others? And looked at Lu Yen helplessly. Lu Yen, you make it sound like I often fight with others. Lu Yen looked at him in disdain. Miss Lu Yen, think about it. You've only been here for a few days. How many times have you fought? And looked at Lu Yen with even more disdain. It's just a small fight. Okay, don't make a fuss about it. I don't care. If you don't promise me, I won't eat lunch with you. You'd better go back to South Hill Manor or go to South Side. You seem to listen to Dr. Hua. No. I promise you. Let's go and eat first. The twins went to school while Huamin went to work. Only Huamin's in-laws lived in South Hill Manor. Lu Yen didn't want to go back, so she didn't want to. Seeing Lu Yen agree without hesitation, and nodded and felt relieved. What do you want to eat for lunch? And asked. Do you have anything special here? Does Xianxia's ramen count? And asked. To be honest, and didn't like ramen before. Later, when Suyu went there for some reason, and went there a few times. To his surprise, he found himself addicted to the ramen at that restaurant. If he didn't eat for a few days, he would feel uncomfortable all over. Damn it, I'm not going. Lu Yen immediately shook her head at the mention of Xian's ramen. Isn't that the place where my sister and brother-in-law got engaged in high school? That small noodle stall costs 2 yuan a bowl. To be honest, Lu Yen really thought it was delicious. Why? My sister and brother-in-law went to Xian to eat noodles. What they ate was feelings and memories of their youth. Do you understand? Why should we join in the fun? No, I really think that ramen restaurant is delicious. Delicious my ass. It's just a psychological effect. I'm not going. I want hot pot. When Lu Yen said she wanted to eat hot pot and didn't dare to object. Then can we go to Shu Xiang restaurant? The hot pot there is more famous. Sure. Crossing her legs, Lu Yen put on her sunglasses and looked out the window. And drove Suyu's Lamborghini all the way to a special hot pot not far away. Meanwhile in Moscow. Young master, that's basically it. His subordinate sent the latest information and videos to his phone. He opened it and his face darkened immediately. That damned woman Lu Yen came to China to eat hot pot with a gigolo? He looked down and saw the information of this person clearly. It turned out that he was Su Yu's bodyguard. It seemed that Yen and Su Yu didn't have much to do with each other, but she was having fun with his bodyguard. 3 minutes later, Qiao Fei picked up his phone and made a call. On the other end of the call, in China. When In and Lu Yen got out of the car and walked inside, they saw a sign on the hot pot restaurant saying closed. Then, the customers inside were being driven out one by one. Hey, what's going on? Lu Yen was curious. We're closed. Please go somewhere else. It's noon. You're not open? Are you having fun? Lu Yen was puzzled. Was this hot pot restaurant crazy? Chapter 34:11. We're closed. Let's go. The waiters of the hot pot restaurant began to clear the place impatiently. Fuck. With Lu Yan's bad temper, she must be the kind of person who would open the restaurant whether she wanted to or not. Before Lu Yen could lose her temper, and stopped her. You promised me you wouldn't fight? Lu Yen was at a loss for words. Wait here. I'll go and ask. And walked up and said to the waiters, I'm Lord Su's bodyguard. Our Lord Su is a regular customer here. What's wrong with you today? What do you mean? I'm sorry. We really can't open the restaurant. But I brought Lord Su's customer here for dinner. What you did made our Lord Su unhappy. Will you bear the consequences? and knew how to lie through his teeth and use suyu to scare the waiters. Wait a moment, sir. I'll ask our manager to talk to you. Hearing that they were Lord Su's people, the waiters didn't dare to offend them and had to find the manager. When the manager came out, he immediately recognized an Mr. N. Is Lord Su here? Lord Su asked me to bring a customer here for dinner. But today it's really... The manager seemed to want to say something but stopped. What on earth happened? An frowned slightly, feeling that something was wrong with this restaurant and that it must be hiding something. To tell you the truth, 5 minutes ago, we received a call from the boss saying that someone booked the whole restaurant and didn't allow us to open the restaurant today. Who is it? How dare you talk so big? Xiaoan was speechless. I don't know. The boss didn't say. Okay, I won't make it difficult for you. Seeing that the manager didn't seem to be lying, An turned around and walked back. What did he say? Lu Yen asked. He said someone booked the whole restaurant. Fuck. Who booked it? I'll pay 5 times the price. Just give it to me. Lu Yen was rich. He's probably a friend of the boss. It might not be a matter of money, and explained. What the fuck? Let's go to another restaurant. No, I want to eat here. If he doesn't let me eat today, I'll smash his restaurant. Lu Yen was furious. You promised me that you wouldn't fight. Xiaoan brought up the band-tightening spell again. Yeah, but I didn't promise you that I would destroy the store. Lu Yan's self-righteous look made him speechless. Moscow, young master, Miss Yen wants to destroy the shop. What should we do? A man asked anxiously in the video. Smash the store? She's really something. Xiao Fei was both angry and amused. Yes, the boss asked me to ask you what to do? You? She didn't know what Xiao Fei said. 3 minutes later, the manager walked out and glanced at An and Lu Yen. Our boss agreed to your request. Right? Can we go in and eat now? Lu Yen said proudly. But only you are allowed to go in. Mr. Xiaoan can't. The manager said. But Lu Yen was dumbfounded. I don't know the details. Our boss gave us the order. Is your boss an idiot? I'm here to eat with my friend. How can he let my friend wait outside? Lu Yen rolled up her sleeves, ready to go all out. His vow not to fight had been forgotten in an instant. Beauty, calm down. Come with me. Someone wants to see you. See me? Lu Yen was surprised. Lu Yen, don't go. It's dangerous. And felt more and more that this hot pot restaurant was sneaky. It's fine. If I go in, they'll be in danger. If you dare to lie to me, I'll raze your restaurant to the ground. Lu Yen threatened him as she swaggered into the room, and was stopped outside the door. Where is he? Who wants to see me? Lu Yen yelled impatiently. Chapter 34:12. Lu Yen felt that if the bastards in the hot pot restaurant dared to trick her, she would be in big trouble. Then, today, one by one, they would all be taken down here. She was ready to show off her skills. But at this moment, she heard a familiar voice. Lu Yen, after you came back to China, did you let yourself go? Psycho Qiao? Lu Yen was dumbfounded. She turned around abruptly and saw the manager of the hot pot restaurant holding a cell phone with trembling hands. On the screen of the cell phone was a silver-haired man sitting in a Russian-style chair. Wearing a double-breasted Navy military uniform, he looked demonic. Lu Yen felt like she had to teach him a lesson. This damned guy didn't reply to her messages or pick up her calls. She thought they would continue their Cold War, but he suddenly appeared in the hot pot restaurant. You're a woman who doesn't keep her word. Again. Lu Yen was exasperated. I shouldn't have believed you. Xiao Fei regretted it. Why did he listen to this woman's plan and live apart from her for so long? In China, she lived a good life and had a man with her. But in Russia, he had to face his cold father, his vicious second brother, and Amy, who was obsessed with him. Xiao Fei was furious. Why don't you say that you and Amy talked bad about me behind my back? Lu Yen tried to find fault with him. You can eat and shop with a man? Xiao Fei asked. That's right, that's right. Whatever I do is right. Whatever you do is wrong. Lu Yen, can you be reasonable? I'm not Lu Yen if I'm reasonable. What's reasonable? How much is 500 grams? Can it be eaten? Lu Yen tilted her head and chuckled. So, you think I can't do anything to you in Russia, right? What do you think? Lu Yen continued to provoke him. That man outside is Su Yu's bodyguard, right? What's your relationship with him? We're intimate. We're going to date soon. Lu Yen purposely tried to provoke Xiao Fei. I'll give you one more chance. Tell me the truth, or I promise I'll kill him in 5 seconds. Hearing his words, Lu Yen immediately turned around and ran to the entrance of the hot pot restaurant, and was still standing beside the Lamborghini, guarding the pair of trophies Lu Yen had bought, completely oblivious to her presence. Lu Yen looked around and was shocked. On the building diagonally opposite Xiaoan, a sniper had appeared out of nowhere. He was already aiming at Xiaoan. This wasn't a joke. Psycho Xiao had never been one to brag. An's life was really in danger. Psycho Xiao, are you serious? What do you think? Don't. Calm down. Lu Yen was scared and immediately gave in. So, what is the relationship between the two of you? It's really nothing. My sister was worried that I'd be bored, so she asked Su Yu to keep me company. But Su Yu didn't have time, so he got a bodyguard to keep me company. He's an honest guy, so don't blame him. It's not his fault, Lu Yen finally explained. Are you done? I'm done. There's really nothing. Don't you have spies in the country? You should be able to find out. Quick, get the sniper to come down. Don't accidentally fire and kill him. Lu Yen thought that if An was killed, she would be fine, but how would her sister explain it to Su Yu? Say you love me. Lu Yen was dumbfounded again. Say you love me, and I'll ask the sniper to come down, Xiao Fei said expressionlessly. He didn't seem to be joking at all. Chapter 34:13. Fuck. Xiao Fei, you're shameless, Lu Yen cursed. 3 seconds. Didn't you give me 5 seconds? Lu Yen was anxious. I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. Are you going to tell me or not? Lu Yen looked around and saw the waiters of the hot pot restaurant were looking at her. How could she tell them? But if she didn't tell them, with Psycho Qiao's temper, An would die immediately. At this moment, Lu Yen had an idea. Pointing at the waiters, she said, You guys, close your eyes and cover your ears. The waiters looked at each other. They didn't know who this girl was, but since the manager was so polite, they didn't dare to be rude. Immediately, they closed their eyes and covered their ears. And you? Lu Yen pointed at the manager with the cell phone. Beauty, I'll close my eyes but not my ears. I'm video chatting with you, right? The manager said submissively. Don't tell anyone what you hear or I'll kill you. Yes. I won't tell anyone. Lu Yen, can you be more straightforward? Xiao Fei was impatient. I love you, okay? Lu Yan's voice wasn't very confident. Your voice is too low. Don't cross the line, Psycho Qiao. Your voice is low. Say it again, louder. Lu Yen held her breath and finally yelled at the man in the video, I love you so much. I love you so much. That's more like it. You'd better behave yourself and keep a distance from men. Otherwise, I don't mind slaughtering the whole city for you. Before Lu Yen could reply, Xiao Fei turned off the video. Who the hell is he? He's a big psycho, Lu Yen was furious. Before those people opened their eyes, Lu Yen ran out. What's going on? Who wants to see you? And walked up immediately. Just a psycho. Ignore him. While speaking, Lu Yen glanced around and was relieved to see that the sniper was gone. This restaurant is really strange. I'll get President Su to deal with them later. I'll take you to another hot pot restaurant. No thanks. Can you send me back to South Hill Manor? I'm a little tired and want to take a nap. But you haven't eaten yet. Aren't you hungry? Not hungry. Just sleepy. All right, I'll send you back. And didn't know why Lu Yen changed her mind so quickly. She said she didn't want to eat after a while. Moreover, he didn't smash the shop and went home obediently. After driving Lu Yen home, and was still worried, so he drove to buy Lu Yan's favorite lotus leaf rice noodles and packed them for her. He handed it over to the security guards of South Hill Manor. Standing by the window upstairs, Lu Yen looked at An, who was carrying the lotus leaf powder, and felt guilty. Don't fall in love with someone like me. People like me have no future. Su Yu finished his work in the company. Seeing that An was not back yet, he drove the company's Mercedes-Benz out. Inside a luxury jewelry store. Hello, sir. How can I help you? I'd like to buy a pair of shoes, Su Yu said. I'm sorry. We only have women's shoes here. The men's shoes are downstairs. The shop assistant smiled warmly. No, I want to buy women's shoes. I want to give them to someone. You want to give them to your girlfriend, right? What kind of shoes do you want? Come in and take a look. Then I'll introduce them to you. Hearing that he wanted to give them to someone, the shop assistant became enthusiastic again. Su Yu walked in shyly and looked at the dazzling collection of women's shoes on the shoe cabinet. Chapter 34:14. I want to buy the flat-soled ones that are comfortable to wear. Ah, are you pregnant? The saleswoman was also very nosy. If pregnant women wear them. Su Yu thought about it and decided to tell the truth. Then I'll take this one. This is our new autumn collection. The climate in the north changes very quickly. The weather will turn cold soon, so you can't wear sandals anymore. This kind of calfskin flat-soled shoes are the most popular. The soles are very soft. Can you touch them? The saleswoman picked up the shoes and showed them to Su Yu. He had never bought shoes for a woman before, so he didn't know much about them. However, the soles were indeed very soft. That day, he saw Huamin come to his house in the morning. She was wearing a pair of very ordinary black flat-soled shoes, but it was obvious that the shoes were already too small. After Huamin became pregnant, she probably walked a lot, so her feet often became swollen. Therefore, the original size no longer fit her feet. Su Yu thought about buying a pair of flat-soled shoes for her. They are quite soft. What colors do they come in? This one comes in 3 colors, black, white, and pink. Then, give me a pair of each. You want all 3 pairs? The saleswoman was shocked. Yes, wrap them up. Sir, because this is a new design, there is no discount. The unit price for one pair is 8,600 yuan. If you add up all 3 pairs, it will be 25,800 yuan. I'll give you 30,000 yuan. The rest is a tip. Su Yu had always been generous. He was in a good mood to buy shoes that he liked. Can you pay for them for me? Of course, sir. Please wait a moment. The saleswoman was overjoyed. After selling luxury goods here for a long time, she realized that some rich people were actually very stingy. They were also very calculative when it came to buying things. There weren't many people who bought 3 pairs at once, and they even gave a few thousand yuan as tips. When Su Yu came out with the 3 pairs of shoes, he sent a WeChat message to Huamin. Are you at the hospital? Yes. Then I'll look for you in a while. Okay. Huamin had always been concise with her words. She rarely chatted with Su Yu when she had nothing to do. The relationship between the two of them was already delicate enough. Southside Sanatorium. Su Yu happily carried his shoes to Huamin's office. To his surprise, he found Qin Chu there. Oh, you're here too? Su Yu greeted him awkwardly. What's the occasion today? Why are both President Qin and President Su here? Are you here for a physical examination? I'll give you a 20% discount. Huamin joked. Don't mess around. I'm in good health. What's there to check up on? Su Yu laughed. At this time, Su Yu noticed that Huamin was wearing new shoes. They were brown and had a simple design, but it was obvious that they were expensive. Did you change into new shoes? Su Yu asked. Mr. Qin gave them to me. He said that my feet have grown bigger and my old shoes were too small, so he bought me 8 pairs. As he spoke, Huamin pointed behind him. Su Yu saw a small mountain of shoe boxes. These 8 pairs are for you to change into at the hospital. There are still 10 pairs at home, Qin Chu said. Oh my God. Are you crazy? Honey, why did you buy so many? Huamin exclaimed. Wear them. I also bought 10 pairs for the baby. How can you buy shoes before the baby is born? Huamin laughed. I saw them and bought them all. They're all from the same brand. It's no trouble at all. Qin Chu sat on the sofa and said to Huamin as he browsed the financial news. Seeing the two of them being so lovey-dovey, Su Yu suddenly felt that he came at a bad time. Hey, why are you looking for me? Nothing. I'm here to see my mom and see you. Auntie Su is still at work? Su Yu nodded guiltily. What are you holding in your hand? Did you go shopping? Huamin noticed that Su Yu was also holding something that looked like a shoebox. Chapter 34:15. We bought a few pairs of shoes, Su Yu stammered. This is a women's shoe brand, right? Qin Chu put away his cell phone and glanced at the shoes in Su Yu's hand. Oh, I bought them for my mom, Su Yu said. What's the occasion today? Why did you all buy shoes? Luckily, they're for Auntie. Otherwise, you can't buy shoes for Zheng Ro, Huamin instructed. Why not? Don't you know? There's a legend that says it's not good for a boyfriend to buy shoes for his girlfriend because the shoes will fly. They're not butterflies. How can they fly? Do you still believe in this old superstition? By the way, did Yen cause you trouble this morning? Lu Yen is cute. Su Yu scratched his head. Come on. You're too hypocritical. Our Yen isn't cute. She's hot-tempered. Huamin chuckled. She's okay. And keeps her company and I don't have much contact with her. I don't think she's hot-tempered. Let's have dinner together when you're free. Bring your girlfriend, Qin Chu stood up and said. Let's have dinner together. You guys talk. I'll go now. Su Yu turned around and left the office. He didn't give the shoes he bought for Huamin. Her husband had bought them for her. What was he doing? Was he asking for trouble? Su Yu regretted it. Qin Chu loved Huamin so much that he didn't have to worry about such trivial things. Then he took the shoes to his mother's office. Lady Su's life had been much more fulfilling since she started working. She worked diligently and had lunch with Huamin at the hospital when she was free. Why are you here? Lady Su was happy to see her son. She immediately stood up and walked over. Was passing by the hospital and came to see you. Are you here to see me? Lady Su seemed to know her son well. You old lady, don't think too much. Alright, I bought you some shoes. After saying that, Su Yu handed over the shoes. Buy shoes for me? Lady Su was baffled. It wasn't a holiday, nor was it her birthday. Why would he buy shoes? When she opened it, Lady Su understood the design. You didn't buy this for me, right? You don't need to know who I bought it for. Anyway, I'm letting you wear it now. Su Yu sat on the sofa in the office and opened a bottle of mineral water. Do you know what size I wear? Isn't it 37? Su Yu was stunned. 37 is Mion's shoe size. Mom's shoe size is 38. It's okay. It will loosen after a while, Su Yu said casually. What the hell is going on? Why didn't you give the shoes to Mion? Lady Su felt that her son and Huamin were just friends, so it was normal for him to buy shoes. Why did he give it to her? Did Mion not want it? Lady Su felt sorry for her son. No, I didn't give it to her. Look at you. Why didn't you give it to her? If you're embarrassed, I'll give it to her. Then, Lady Su took the shoe box and was about to leave. I just went. Qin Chu is inside. Qin Chu is there. You're not having an affair with Mion. It's not a big deal. She's pregnant. What's wrong with you caring about her? No, Qin Chu already bought shoes for Mion, and he bought a lot of pairs. I didn't give it to her, Su Yu said awkwardly. Seeing her son like this, Mrs. Su's heart ached. Silly son. My silly son. Mom, it's okay. If you don't, I'll give it to someone else. Then, Su Yu stood up and was about to leave. Take it back and give it to Zheng Ro. She should be able to wear it and appreciate your kindness, Lady Su suddenly said. Su Yu stopped in his tracks. Chapter 34:16. I don't think it's a good idea. It's not for her anyway. What's wrong with it? If you and I don't tell anyone, no one will know. Just take it. Lady Su hoped her son would take the initiative to follow Zheng Ro. What if he had a chance with Zheng Ro? Bracing himself, Su Yu took the 3 pairs of shoes back. When he went back and was also back, Zheng Ro was watching TV in the living room. You're back? Zheng Ro looked back at Su Yu. Yeah. Su Yu's expression was unnatural. Wow, you went shopping and bought a lot of things. Seeing Su Yu carrying bags of various sizes, Zheng Ro half-joked. Oh, this is for you. Su Yu handed her 3 pairs of shoes awkwardly. For me? Zheng Ro was pleasantly surprised. Taking the box, she knew it was a pair of expensive shoes from an Italian luxury brand. But the moment she opened the box, she picked up the soles and glanced at the size. Then she understood everything. Well, I was going to give it to someone but didn't. If you don't mind, you can wear it. Su Yu never liked to lie. So, he told Zheng Ro about the situation but didn't say it was for her. Oh, thank you. I like it very much. Seeing Su Yu being so honest, Zheng Ro didn't hesitate anymore. Happy, she took out the 3 pairs of shoes and tried them on one by one. Su Yu, which color do you think looks good on me? Zheng Ro asked happily. Anything is fine. Su Yu didn't know how to choose women's things, so he couldn't tell what the color was. Damn it. You're just brushing me off. Forget it. I'll go ask and then Zheng Ro happily ran out with the shoes to find who was washing the car outside. Su Yu touched his nose, feeling it wasn't right to do this. At this moment, his phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. It didn't look like a domestic number. President Su, it's me. It was Xuan's voice. Su Yu heard her voice and didn't know what to say for a moment. How have you been? Pretty good. How about you? That's good too. What followed was a 30-second silence, as if they couldn't find a topic to talk about. In fact, Xianxia was a good person. She was kind, gentle, beautiful, hardworking, and good at acting. In the entertainment industry, he could be considered a breath of fresh air. However, with Su Yu's fiery temper, finding such a girl seemed to be very difficult. He still liked Huamin, whom he had first met at Southside. It was the Huamin who argued with him all day long. Therefore, when he chatted with a gentle person like Xianxia, it was always awkward. Are you used to living in America? Are you used to the food? Su Yu tried to find a topic to talk about. It's pretty good. Most importantly, I can see Cece. She often flies over to visit me. That's good. Then study hard there. The company is waiting for you to come back. Su Yu. This time, Xianxia called Su Yu, not President Su. Yeah. I miss you very much. Perhaps because Xianxia was on the other side of the ocean and holding a phone, she was much bolder than before. She directly told Su Yu that she missed him. Su Yu was very embarrassed. Take good care of yourself over there. Guns are legal in that country, and every house has one. Sometimes, the security is worrying. You go out with bodyguards and your agent. If you don't have enough money, tell me. I'll ask the company to give you money. Su Yu obviously changed the topic. Su Yu, have you ever thought of me? Even a little? Xianxia didn't give up and brought the topic back again. Chapter 34:17. Su Yu was conflicted. If he said he wanted to, he really couldn't remember. If he said he didn't want to, it would be too heartless for her to call him all the way across the ocean. However, hearing Su Yu's hesitation, Xianxia basically understood the situation. I understand. Then I'll leave you to it. Sorry to disturb you. Slightly disappointed, Xianxia hung up the phone. In less than a minute, the phone rang again. Su Yu picked it up, thinking it was Xianxia again. He said directly, I think you're doing well now. Let bygones be bygones. What the hell are you talking about? Lord Su, are you flirting with girls again? Do you want to dump them? Tang Chuan's voice sounded. Su Yu immediately cursed when he realized something was wrong. Damn, why don't you call with your own phone? That's expensive. I'm using the landline of my wife's company. How did Qi Ning raise you? Su Yu scolded angrily. My Ning said that even if you want to live off a woman, you have to look at the face. Lord Su, you're not qualified. Get lost. The two of them bickered for a while. At the company or at home? You make it sound like I have nowhere else to go except for the company and home. Suyu laughed. What else? Or south side? Do you want to die? Seeing Tang Chuan teasing him, Suyu was both angry and amused. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going back. Hurry up and prepare a welcome dinner. Go to hell. You come and go to the States so many times a day. If I don't prepare a welcome dinner for you every time, I'll go bankrupt. No. Our Lord Su is a godly rich man. How can he go bankrupt? When are you coming back? Suyu seemed to be in a good mood while chatting with Tang Chuan. Holding his phone, he lay down on the sofa. I'm flying tomorrow night. So soon? But did you miss me? I missed you so much. So you said, all right, since you miss me so much, I'll settle down here for good this time. I won't go to America anymore. Where is Qi Ning? Of course my wife is with me. She's not going either. What about your father-in-law? Suyu was curious. My father-in-law is still worried about the company, and he is still young. He wants to continue working there for a few more years. When he retires in a few years, he will find a professional manager. Anyway, no one is willing to take over. My brother-in-law, Qin Chu, is also unwilling to take over. They're all busy with their own things. How can they have the time to care about other things? It's good that they're back. What do you mean? Are they back to get married? Suyu could tell that something was amiss. When I go back, help me plan a proposal. Ningning doesn't know about it yet. As long as she agrees, we can get married immediately. So fast. Suyu was a little surprised. Even I think it's too slow. I want to get married right now. Are you two going to get on the bus first and then buy tickets later? Is Qin Ning pregnant? Suyu wondered if something good had happened since they were in such a hurry. Nonsense. Ningning is still young. We're not in a hurry to have a baby. Okay. When you come back, we'll work on the proposal. Right. I heard my sister-in-law's younger sister came back. Was it fun? No, Suyu answered directly. I saw Pudding and Little Bean video chatting with my wife. They kept talking about their auntie. My wife was a little jealous. You'll know when you come back. Suyu didn't dare to comment too much about Lu Yen. At South Hill Manor, Huamin felt sleepy after sitting in the living room with her family for a while. She got up and walked to her bedroom. At this time, her WeChat beeped. She opened it and saw it was a reminder from her classmates who tagged Huamin. Is Huamin there? If so, please answer. It's urgent. Chapter 34:18. I'm here. What's up? After meeting her classmates a few times, Huamin didn't want to hang out with them anymore. Her classmates' gatherings had changed. They were no longer as simple as they used to be. Other than being especially close to Zhu Lingling, she only hung out with Wei Dong occasionally. Wei Dong remembered that Huamin had helped him before and knew that she didn't need money now. Therefore, he often went to the countryside and brought back local specialties for Huamin's family. Wei Dong's mother would personally buy wool and knit scarves for the twins to express her gratitude. People who knew how to be grateful had a trace of kindness in their hearts. Huamin felt that although Wei Dong was a little naughty, he wasn't a bad person at heart. Qin Chu didn't comment on this matter. He didn't agree or disagree and gave Huamin absolute space to deal with her own matters. Wow, Goddess Hua, you're here. You actually replied within seconds. Han Su was a little surprised. Yeah, I'm usually here at night. Goddess Hua, I'm getting married this weekend. Can you come? Getting married? That's a good thing. Congratulations, Huamin said politely. Goddess Hua, we're classmates. You have to come. Previously, some of my classmates said that Huamin doesn't want to hang out with us now that she's married into a rich family. I didn't want to hear that. Goddess Hua has always been so approachable. How can that be? Right? Han Su's words meant that he was forcing Huamin on to go. This was one of the things that Huamin hated the most about him. He was hypocritical, scheming, and especially good at spreading rumors. To put it bluntly, Han Su was actually a despicable person. It was normal for him to inform everyone about his wedding. However, he should have just called. Why did he have to announce it in the group in front of so many people? He wanted to make it so that Huamin couldn't refuse. Huamin had already left the group once. However, Han Su insisted on adding Huamin back, saying that they were classmates. Usually, Huamin would block this group. Today, he had directly Huamin. It was obvious that he had a motive. Sure, I'll definitely go. Huamin replied with a cold smile. That's great, Goddess Hua. Don't forget to bring gifts. With your current status, you'll definitely bring something good. Ha, let poor people like us bask in your glory. Han Su was so utilitarian that he directly asked Huamin for a gift. Now that he had made it public, Huamin would not be able to give him a cheap gift even if he wanted to. Besides, couldn't they just give him money? Why did they need a gift? The reason was as follows. After Han Su finished speaking, another male classmate who had a good relationship with Han Su interrupted and sent a message in the WeChat group. Maybe you guys don't know, but our class rep Han's wife is the daughter of Deputy Director Wang of the local tax bureau. The wedding will be held at the Athena Hotel and there will be 100 tables. Also, they don't accept cash gifts, only gold. Don't embarrass yourselves. Upon hearing that they would accept gold, everyone began to mutter in their hearts. However, no one said anything in the group. After all, it was a public occasion. Just as everyone was about to awkwardly say something, Zhu Lingling suddenly came online and said, Han Su, you found yourself a good father-in-law. What, are you going to marry into the family? Are you going to be a live-in son-in-law? You're the only son in your family. What about your parents? Zhu Lingling's shameless mockery of Han Su made everyone secretly happy. Even Huamin wanted to secretly cheer for Zhu Lingling. Hee Lingling, you're so funny. Han Su's expression was extremely ugly, but he didn't dare to offend Zhu Lingling because he knew that her husband was the director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. He couldn't afford to offend her. Goddess Hua, Goddess Lingling, you must do me the honor of coming. Han Su emphasized that they should come. Chapter 34:19. We'll be there. Don't worry. Zhu Lingling took the lead in cheering them on. Some of the other students who were close to Han Su also chimed in. Wei Dong, who had been very active, didn't say anything. Finally, Huamin was about to turn off his cell phone when he received a private message from Wei Dong. Don't go. Han Su is a bastard. Huamin chuckled. He asked for a gift from you. Gold? He's so shameless. He did it on purpose. I know. Don't go. I won't go. None of us should go. Does he think he's so great just because he married the director's daughter? Wei Dong cursed. But I'm curious. Didn't Han Su have a girlfriend who lived with him for years? She's from this city. Of course. That woman had abortions for him several times. Now that he's hooked up with a rich girl, he dumped her. That's disgusting. Huamin rarely spoke ill of others behind their backs, but Han Su's behavior made Huamin feel bad. After chatting with Wei Dong for a while, Huamin turned off his cell phone and went upstairs. After she got pregnant, Mr. Qin didn't let her use her cell phone anymore. He was being too careful about the radiation. Today, Lu Yen seemed to have thought it through. She didn't want to share a bed with Huamin and went to the twins' room to join them. Mr. Qin was so grateful that he sent Lu Yen away. Finally, he could share a bed with his wife. Midnight, the husband and wife were chatting on the bed. Honey. Yeah. Did you embarrass Su Yu in my office today? Qin Chu didn't say anything. You're too petty. Look at you. Huamin joked and pinched Qin Chu's face affectionately. Su Yu, it's obvious she bought the shoes for you. That's because he has good intentions. It's normal for me to be jealous. I thought you didn't like to be jealous? Huamin smiled. There has to be a limit. My wife is pregnant now. Why should he buy shoes? I was just reminding him. Shouldn't he? Yes, you're right. In Huamin's eyes, Qin Chu's occasional stubbornness was especially cute. Sometimes she felt bad for Qin Chu because he was too sensible and too patient. It was said that only children who knew how to cry would get candy. All these years, only Huamin understood what Qin Chu had done in silence. Therefore, she loved her husband from the bottom of her heart. Huamin hugged Qin Chu's neck tightly like a koala bear. Hubby, who do you think saved Huasiqian? I've been looking into it. So has Lu Yen. Qin Chu placed his hand on Huamin's belly, his eyes full of love. It's strange. How could such a big person be taken away so coincidentally? I feel like I'm releasing a tiger back into the mountains. Huamin murmured to herself. Of course, Huasiqin is fine, but if it's Jack, it's not a wise decision to let him go. But there's nothing we can do about it. Even someone as powerful as Yen couldn't stop him. That shows how powerful the enemy is. Yes, we only live in a small part of the world. There are many things outside of our lives that we don't know. Do you know how special your father's identity is? I know. Although I don't know what Dad has been researching all these years, it seems to be something that many people with bad intentions want to get their hands on. Not only Ian and the others, but also many other underground forces. Otherwise, Yen and Dad wouldn't have been hunted down for so many years. What kind of thing do you think it is? Qin Chu patted Huamin's head dotingly. He liked to see his wife's intelligent analysis. She was so serious and beautiful. Chapter 3420. Well, I don't know. I can't imagine it, but could it be a biochemical weapon? Huamin laughed. Do you think we're watching a movie? Biochemical? Honey, you're really imaginative. Qin Chu also laughed. Right. I almost forgot to tell you that I left the group before. Later, I was dragged back by Han Su and I haven't said anything since. You know, our classmates are no longer the same as before. They're not as good as Gao Rant's class. So, what are they up to this time? Han Su said he's getting married this weekend. He hasn't gotten married yet? Qin Chu didn't have much contact with Han Su. It could be said that in their class, Qin Chu only remembered Zhu Lingling other than Huamin. Oh, if it's a wedding, then go. He went through so much trouble to drag you back to the group. Isn't it because he wants to receive gifts? Yes, but it's a little different this time. He said he won't accept gifts, but only gold? Shame on him. Qin Chu rarely laughed at others, but what Han Su did this time really made him look down on him. I heard that it's the request of my father-in-law. He's the deputy director of the local taxation bureau, right? Lingling gossiped about it. A small local taxation bureau dares to accept gifts so blatantly. Isn't he afraid of making a big deal out of it? Maybe he's confident. Huamin didn't think so. If you want to go, then go. It's just a small matter. Well, after what he said in the group today, I can't not go. Then I'll go. What about you, honey? Do you want to go with me? Forget it. Every time we go to that group of mobs, something will happen. I'm not going. There's a lot of work in the company. You go, but don't go alone. I know. I'll go with Lingling. No, I mean you have to take the bodyguards with you. Qin Chu was now always worried about Huamin's safety. I know. But if little Yen is willing to go with me, it's fine if we don't bring any bodyguards. Otherwise, people will think that I'm an important leader. It's really strange to have bodyguards everywhere I go. People will think that I'm a freak. Who said so? Those celebrities all have bodyguards. But I'm not a celebrity. Huamin tilted his head and smiled. You are a superstar in my heart. Qin Chu placed Huamin's chubby little hand on his chest. Huamin was a little embarrassed. That's so mushy. There's no one else here, so why are you showing off your love? Can I eat it myself? Qin Chu hugged Huamin and smiled gently. Qin Chu loved these peaceful and warm days the most. Perhaps it was because they had been apart for too long, but now he felt that every minute and second he spent with Huamin was beautiful. Honey, you've been sleeping better lately. Have you noticed? Yes. So, Dr. Hua, what kind of elixir did you give me? It's nothing much. It's just a small formula that I came up with. Later, I felt that it wasn't perfect enough, so I asked Yen to call my father and ask him about it. My father is indeed a medical genius. He's so smart that I've never heard of or seen any of the herbs that he mentioned before. That's why I said you're amazing. I'm relieved that you're sleeping better. I was just worried that you wouldn't be able to sleep well. Then, Huamin reached out his hand and gently stroked Qin Chu's handsome face. In the twins' room, Lu Yen was huddled with her two nieces. The twins were overjoyed. "Auntie, why didn't you save me when Mommy scolded me today?" Little Bean pouted. Chapter 34:21. You're innocent. My little princess, I've been helping you, but your mommy is too fierce and won't let me interrupt. Then don't interrupt. How can I help you if I don't interrupt? You can call for reinforcements, for example. Lu Yen looked at Little Bean curiously. Handsome Su can't do it. He's as important to my mommy as we are. My mommy won't show him any respect since she thinks he's spoiling us. So, should I call your daddy? Lu Yen chuckled. It's no use. My daddy is enchanted by my mommy's beauty and favors his wife. He won't help us. Then who can help us? You can ask Auntie Lingling and Auntie Xiaowei. Their words carry weight in front of Mommy, Little Bean suggested. Why don't you just tell me you want Gao Buyuan to protect you? Pudding looked at her sister. Oh, so you're looking for your boyfriend? Lu Yen teased Little Bean. What boyfriend? Auntie, don't talk nonsense. Gao Buyuan isn't my boyfriend yet. I just put him on the list of candidates and need to observe him. You're so young but you know how to cultivate a backup. You're amazing, Little Bean. Auntie, have you ever thought of liking anyone other than Uncle Qiao? Little Bean began to gossip. Ahem. Who says I like Qiao Fei? I don't like him. He's shameless enough to like me. Lu Yen refused to admit it. You're just like my auntie. You've slept with Uncle Tang but still say you don't like him. You adults are so hypocritical. Lu Yen, Auntie, ignore her. She's a gossipy woman. Come on. Can you help me check this stock? Pudding sat down beside Lu Yen with a tablet. Humph. You're annoying. I'll video call Buyuan. Little Bean turned around and began to play on her cell phone. In Su Yu's private mansion, Su Yu and En were enjoying the cool air by the swimming pool while Zheng Ro was lying on the couch in the living room with a mask on her face. They didn't interfere with each other. It seemed they were used to this three-person relationship. President Su, is Miss Xing going to stay here forever? It's up to her. If she wants to stay, she'll stay. If she doesn't, she'll leave. No matter how I see it, she doesn't want to leave at all, especially after you gave her so many pairs of shoes today. Isn't giving her shoes so that she can run away? Su Yu asked as he recalled the legend that Huamin had told him. All right, you win. Xiaoan admired his boss's crooked thoughts. President Su, can I ask you a question? Speak. Tell me, how does it feel to truly fall in love with someone? And looked at Su Yu curiously. Bah, is this a topic that two men should talk about? Su Yu felt that Xiaoan was acting weird today. It's just a casual question. You said that I was just discharged from the army and didn't have much experience in society. The girls I met were all nice but revealed their true colors as soon as I got to know them. So, I guess I don't really like them. If I really like someone, would I want to see her every day? Yeah, it's true. I want to see her every day. Su Yu suddenly thought of Huamin. So it's true, and murmured to himself. That's not right. And, tell me the truth. Are you in love again? Su Yu felt and had been acting mysteriously these days. Chapter 34:22. What do you mean by, again? You make it sound like I've dated many times. Haven't you? Su Yu rolled his eyes. You're right. At least I've dated many times more than you. Su Yu didn't know how to refute. Not counting the girls he'd flirted with, he'd never dated anyone. His love for Huamin was one-sided, but both parties had to put their feelings into a relationship. So, strictly speaking, Su Yu had never dated anyone. Damn it. Don't change the topic. Tell me, who do you like this time? Boss, can we have a nice chat? Can you remove the word, again? It sounds weird. Okay, who do you like this time? Zheng Ro, right? Go after her? No. Let's not talk about our family background. Miss Zheng Ro isn't my type. I know. Su Yu smiled wickedly. Boss, your smile is so evil. Lu Yen, right? Su Yu had guessed it and said Zheng Ro to tease and, oh no. Don't think too much. I just think Lu Yen is a good person. How is she good? I really don't see any good points about her except that she likes to fight and scold people. Su Yu was afraid of Lu Yen and didn't dare to confront her directly. They were both hot-tempered and would put Huamian in a difficult position if they quarreled. So, Su Yu was avoiding Lu Yen. Who said so? She's a straightforward person. And immediately complained for Lu Yen. She's not straightforward. She's simple and violent. Right. It's better to be simple and violent. Girls nowadays like to be pretentious and scheming. But I think she's a good girl. At the mention of Lu Yen, and seemed to have a lot of topics to talk about and was very enthusiastic. Do you mean you've fallen for her? No, I just admire it. Hey, I admire it. And would never admit it. When you borrowed my car today, I knew you were being sneaky. You must be hiding something from me. Pa. So you fell in love with that girl? I didn't. How would I dare? She's Dr. Hua's sister. She's obviously a rich girl. I'm just a stupid bodyguard. How could I be good enough for her? And always felt inferior at times like this. His previous wish was to find an honest and reliable village girl to live with. Later, he discovered that the girls in the countryside were no longer innocent. Some of them were even more snobbish than the girls in the city. It was easy to get hundreds of thousands of cash gifts, and then buy a house and a car in the city. Although and could afford all these, he always felt that the love he bought was not love anymore. He had thought that he wouldn't dare to have any designs on someone like Lu Yen, but the more he interacted with her, the more he found her interesting. Now, he wanted to see Lu Yen all the time. That was why he couldn't suppress his emotions and was seen through by Su Yu at a glance. Don't always call yourself a stupid bodyguard. You're awesome to be my Su Yu's bodyguard, of course. This position is indeed very coveted. After all, I hang out with you every day. And chuckled. And if you really like her, go and confess. What if you succeed? That's impossible. I heard that Miss Lu Yen has a boyfriend who's abroad. A long-distance relationship is even more unstable. How would you know if you don't try? You're such a coward. To think that you used to be a soldier. Don't tell others that you're my bodyguard. Shame on you. Boss, stop fooling around. Answer me another question. Go ahead. Su Yu opened a can of beer and leaned back. Tell me, under what circumstances would a young girl's hands be covered in calluses? Chapter 34-23. She did a lot of farm work. When my grandpa was young, he went to the countryside and did some farm work. That kind of manual labor really hurts his hands. If she's a rich girl, she doesn't need to work at all. Then there's only one possibility. She plays with guns, Su Yu said casually. That's what I think. Are you talking about Lu Yen? Su Yu thought and wouldn't ask this for no reason. Guns are legal in the United States. Every family has a gun. It's nothing strange. She can get a gun just like we can get a driver's license. Su Yu didn't think much of it. I have a feeling that Miss Lu Yan's identity isn't that simple. And wasn't an idiot. After spending 2 days with Lu Yen, he couldn't see anything special about her. However, with Lu Yan's clean and vicious moves and her hands that played with guns all year round, his intuition told him that this woman wasn't simple. But she was only in her early 20s. How complicated could she be? Why do you care about her identity? If I like someone, I'll like her even if she's a demoness isolated by the whole world. If I don't like her, it's useless even if she's an angel loved by everyone. Su Yu threw out his theory. You're right. And seemed to enjoy Su Yu's words. He opened a can of beer and drank it. Then he stopped asking questions. He liked Lu Yen for sure. He couldn't doubt his own heart anymore. But he and Lu Yen, he didn't dare to think about it. With how fast Lu Yen spent money, and didn't even dare to think about how much money this woman had. South Hill Manor. Late at night, seeing the two kids fall asleep, Lu Yen tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. She got up, put on her clothes, and prepared to drive out for some fresh air. However, when she reached the stairs on the second floor, Huamin stopped her. It's so late. Where are you going? Sis, you're still awake? No. After I got pregnant, I didn't sleep as much. The baby keeps moving, Huamin said in a low voice. It seems my little nephew is a naughty boy. Don't change the topic. Tell me, where are you going? I can't sleep, so I plan to go for a drive. No. Why? Because Dad called me and told me to keep an eye on you. He said that you always like to fight, Huamin said. Sis, I'm not a troublemaker. Usually, I won't attack unless I'm attacked, Lu Yan promised. Don't talk nonsense. You're a pretty little girl going out in the middle of the night. How could people not offend you? The public security in the city is good, but there are a lot of rich second generations who love to cause trouble and some hooligans who have evil intentions. If you want to go out during the day. Oh my God, sis, I'm really drunk with your way of thinking. Let's not talk about China. Even in Europe, I go out drinking in the middle of the night. That's why you always fight and even kill people, right? Huamin looked at Lu Yan. Lu Yan licked her lips and remained silent. Yan, killing too many people will make you sinful. You're still young. I don't want you to live the rest of your life with blood on your hands. Sis, killing people is just like you saving people. It's my job. It's been like this all these years. I won't change my mind because of your words. Don't try to persuade me, okay? If I could do it all over again and have a choice, I really want to be you and live the life you're living now. Huamin looked at Lu Yan with heartache. If I could do it all over again and have a choice, I want to be me. That way, you can live a peaceful and happy life. Lu Yan's words made Huamin burst into tears. Sis, don't cry. Pregnant women can't cry. Lu Yan reached out her hand and wiped away Huamin's tears. Yan, let's go. I'll go out for supper with you. Go and get my R8. The key is in the box by the garage door. Lu Yan was dumbfounded. She didn't expect her sister to go out with her. Chapter 34-24. What are you talking about? Hurry up and go. But you... Lu Yan was dumbfounded. I'm fine. You'll protect me, right? Huamin chuckled. Without giving Lu Yan a chance, he pushed her out. Huamin didn't want Lu Yan to go out in the middle of the night, even though he knew she was good at fighting and wouldn't be hurt. But it wasn't good for Lu Yan to fight all the time. But looking at her pitiful face, Huamin felt bad for his sister and couldn't bear to see her like this. So, he decided to go out with Lu Yan. In the middle of the night, the sisters drove away. No one in the family knew except for Qin Chu. No matter how good Huamin's prescription was, Qin Chu was still a light sleeper. Especially when Huamin got up, he woke up. Boss, what are your orders? Follow a young lady and protect them. Yes. Qin Chu knew Lu Yan was good at fighting, but to be sure, he ordered his subordinates to follow Lu Yan. Lu Yan, who was driving, obviously knew the car behind them was to protect them, but she smiled and didn't say anything. The sisters drove out in the middle of the night and were indeed a bit willful. Sis, what do you want to eat? Anything is fine. I'm not picky. Just don't say RXIN's ramen. I really don't like it, Lu Yan told the truth. I'm tired of it, but your brother-in-law and I like it. I know. Can you stop torturing us all the time? Lu Yan tapped her fingers on the steering wheel and laughed. Finally, the sisters came to an agreement and parked the car in front of a wonton restaurant. It was already past midnight, and there were almost no pedestrians on the road. The population in the north was small, and the winter was very cold, so some of the older people moved south to warm places to enjoy the rest of their lives. According to statistics, the total population of the 3 northern provinces combined was less than that of a southern province. It wasn't an exaggeration. Ladies, what would you like to eat? The owner was an old man. Uncle, all you have here are wontons, right? Yes. We also have noodles. Forget it. I'm sick of noodles. Give us 2 bowls of wontons. Give my sister a bowl of wontons stuffed with fresh shrimp. I'll have pork and cabbage. Okay. One moment. Lu Yan and Huamin found a clean table in the corner and sat down. You don't come out for supper this late, do you, sis? Yeah, I used to go out with my husband when I wasn't pregnant. But with my current situation, he's very strict with me. Huamian smiled happily. Sis, all these years. Are you happy in that family? Does your foster mother treat you well? Lu Yen thought she could only talk about family matters when she was with her sister. Although my mother has a bad temper, she has been really good to me all these years. She doesn't know that I'm not her biological daughter. I heard that her child was swapped. She doesn't know that her child is dead. Huamin nodded. When I found out about this, I was so excited. I suddenly felt like I had a sister in the world. It was a wonderful feeling. Silly girl. Huamin's eyes were full of love. Unfortunately, Dad didn't let me see you. He was afraid we'd bring you trouble. Now that the truth is out, you're in danger. But at least we can be reunited. Sis, do you know? I've imagined this scene countless times. The two of us, sitting at a stall in the middle of the night eating supper, and then gossiping, just like any other sisters in a normal family. Yen, my dream was to study medicine and be a good doctor. Do you know what my biggest dream is now? Chapter 34-25. Lu Yin didn't say anything. She just looked at her sister quietly. Huamin said word by word, "My biggest dream now is for our family to be reunited and live happily together. You and Dad don't have to live a wandering life anymore." Sis, that's impossible. Once you've chosen some paths, you can't turn back. Lu Yen suddenly felt sad. I'll work hard. Although my efforts are insignificant, as my closest family in the world, I'll work hard to make you live a stable and happy life. Huamin held Lu Yan's hand and said with red eyes. No matter how rich and powerful her sister was, she still felt sorry for her and what she had gone through all these years. She didn't dare to imagine how Lu Yen, who was only a few years old, had to hide from enemies and assassinations by herself. Amidst the encirclement and the explosion, he had tried his best to survive. When someone was worried about what to eat today, they didn't know what to eat. Yen might have been hungry and hadn't eaten a full meal for days. When someone was worried about what to wear today, Yen might have worn the same clothes for days and couldn't change out of them. When someone couldn't fall asleep because of insomnia today, perhaps Xiao Yen hadn't dared to close her eyes or have a good night's sleep for several days. The simple life that ordinary people lived every day was out of Lu Yan's reach. Huamian knew that. However, as her sister, she couldn't save her. This made Huamin very sad. She had discussed this with Mr. Qin before. Mr. Qin was a rational person, but even he said that Lu Yan's path was hard to turn back. Sometimes, fate was just so unreasonable. Hey, sis, we're here to eat, not to be emotional. Didn't you say you're the strongest? You're pregnant now, so you're really emotional. Don't cry. I don't want my little nephew to be born a crybaby. Lu Yen didn't dare to look into her sister's eyes and pretended that nothing was wrong. She picked up a tissue and wiped Huamin's tears, trying to stop this sad topic. At this moment, the old man walked over with 2 bowls of steaming wontons. Ladies, the wonton is ready. Eat it while it's hot. The soup is also very delicious. Okay. But uncle, is it made of gutter oil? Lu Yen teased. No. I have lived for so many years and have been making wontons for so many years. What I rely on is the reputation of my neighbors. If I use gutter oil, I can't even bear it. The old man seemed to be quite serious. Uncle, don't listen to my sister's nonsense. She's just joking. Huamin was both angry and amused. As long as Lu Yen was there, the atmosphere was hilarious. Of course, she was only funny to her loved ones. The 2 sisters ate hot wontons and drank a kind of sparkling water unique to this northern city. Lu Yen was very satisfied with this moment. Sis, let's go back after we finish eating. Aren't you having trouble sleeping? Shall I accompany you for a walk? There's no need. I'm quite sleepy too. I'm not going to shop. Lu Yen didn't want her sister to stay with her even though she was pregnant, so she decided not to be stubborn and left after eating. However, they didn't expect that when they were about to finish eating, a few uninvited guests came into the wonton shop. They were uninvited guests because as soon as they walked in, Lu Yan's intuition told her that they had strong murderous intent. The people who came in were all wearing black cloaks. They looked like vampires in the middle of the night. No normal person would dress like this. It wasn't like they were cosplaying. So, what would you like to eat? The old man was still treating them warmly. Same as them. The man who spoke was sitting not far from Lu Yen and Lu Yen. He lowered his head so low that they couldn't see his face clearly. Sis, let's go. Lu Yen tossed the unfinished chopsticks on the table and put 100 yuan on the table. Then, she grabbed Huamin's hand and was about to leave. Chapter 34:26. Yen, what's wrong? Huamin didn't feel any murderous intent, so he didn't think anything was wrong. Huamin was surprised that Lu Yen wanted to leave in a hurry before dinner. Sis, we have to go. It's dangerous. Lu Yan's voice was so low that only Huamin could hear it. Girls, are you done eating? The old man didn't understand what was going on and hurried over to check on them. Uncle, here's the money. Keep the change. We're full. Lu Yen smiled and pulled Huamin out of the room. However, someone stopped them at the door. Why are you leaving in such a hurry? Why didn't you say hello? The man said, Who the fuck are you? Do I know you? Lu Yen was exasperated and cursed at him. It doesn't matter if you don't know me. It's enough that you know our boss. I don't care who your boss is. If you mess with me, you'll die. Don't play games with me. Tell that bastard to come out. Let me see his cowardly face. Lu Yen held Huamin's wrist tightly, afraid that something would happen to her sister. Just then, a man walked in from the door. He was still wearing a black cloak, which made him look creepy in the night. When the man walked in, all the men in black in the room knelt down on one knee and put one hand on their chest. Lu Yen, it's been a while. The man spoke in perfect English. After he finished speaking, he slowly lifted the cloak on his head. Lu Yan's expression changed slightly when she saw his face. Nalo, it's been a while. Lu Yen smiled coldly. Hearing Lu Yen call him Nalo, Huamin's heart sank. Her memory was extraordinarily good. Even if she hadn't seen people or things, she would still remember them. Nalo was a man from the German mafia. He was the current head of the mafia family and Ian's twin brother. Huamin didn't know much about his temperament and had never heard anyone mention him. The only thing that left an impression on her was that this man and Huasiqian seemed to have some unspeakable secrets. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Let's sit down and talk. Nalo still spoke in English, but his face was expressionless. Different from Ian, Huamin had met Ian in the hospital. She remembered that Ian, that pervert, often had a strange smile on his face. He was very cautious. Nalo, on the other hand, had no expression on his face, was emotionless. His looks were above average among foreigners, and he was a little like David Beckham. Perhaps it was because of his age, there was some scattered stubble around his chin. Talk my ass. I don't have time. Scram, or I'll start a massacre. Lu Yen was famous for her bad temper. Whenever she saw someone, she would start a fight. She rarely had the patience to chat with irrelevant people, especially her enemies. Maybe it was because of Ian, but Lu Yen didn't have a good impression of him. Maybe because she didn't feel satisfied after cursing him in English, Lu Yen cursed him in German. The men in black's expressions changed when they heard Lu Yan's words. Seeing their master being insulted, one of the men in black was about to pull out his gun when Nalo stopped him. I'm not here to fight with you, Nalo said calmly. Then are you here to date me? Lu Yen asked in fluent English. Chapter 34:27. Huamian couldn't get a word in on their conversation. He could understand English, but he couldn't understand German at all. Lu Yen had traveled all over the world since she was a child and knew many unpopular languages. He had to admit that she was talented in languages. His brain was like a translation machine. I have some questions for your sister. Nalo glanced at Huamin. Lu Yen immediately pulled her sister behind her. Tell me what you want. Don't involve my sister. I'm surprised that you care so much about someone. It's not easy. It was the first time Nalo saw panic in Lu Yan's eyes and knew how important the woman behind her was to Lu Yen. Yen, I'm fine. You don't have to protect me. Huamin had suffered many losses and didn't want to be a burden to others, so he always carried drugs and poisons to protect himself. He didn't want to be a burden to Lu Yan. Sis, it's okay. Don't be afraid. I'm here for you. Okay, I'm not afraid. Huamin held Lu Yan's hand. In the middle of the night, the sisters were surrounded by people in the wonton shop. Qin Chu's cell phone was connected to the bodyguards he sent out. At first, he was relieved when Huamin and Lu Yan went out to eat. He got up and went to the study to organize some files. But when the images disappeared, he felt something was wrong. He called his subordinates but couldn't reach them. Without a word, Qin Chu took out a silver pistol from the drawer in the study. Then, he hurriedly ran downstairs and drove straight to the wonton shop. Lu Yan, if you were alone, you might have a chance to escape. But you're carrying a pregnant woman. How can you escape? Do you believe me? Do you think I can beat your sister into minced meat with a single move of my hand? Nalo said coldly. I also believe that if you dare to make a move, none of us will be able to leave here alive. You should know how much I love bombs. I carry many kinds of explosives with me. I've never been afraid of death. If you want to die together with me, then come at me. Lu Yan was rarely threatened. Even if she was, she would immediately retaliate. Boss, you don't have to believe this woman's words. She tricked Master Ian the last time. A Chinese man reminded Nalo. He was the one who had just walked in and spoke in Chinese. Unfortunately, the moment he said that, Lu Yan raised her hand and threw a sticky mini-bomb at him. He placed it directly on that person's neck. Just as he was about to reach out and touch it, with a bang, the miniature bomb exploded on his neck. His main artery burst, and blood gushed out like a fountain. In an instant, the smell of blood filled the entire wonton shop. The old man was so scared that he fainted and lay on the ground. Huamin looked at the bloody scene and turned around, as if he wanted to retch. Seeing their comrade dead, they were all agitated and pointed their guns at Lu Yan. Shoot. It's not a bad idea to die together. I'm honored to have the big boss of the German mafia die with me. There are 2 of us and a group of you. In terms of numbers, it's a win for us. Lu Yan looked at Nalo and smiled. Your temper hasn't changed at all. But I finally understand why my brother couldn't catch you all these years. Nalo admired this little girl. Her courage and boldness, as well as her decisiveness when she attacked just now, wasn't something an ordinary person could do. Cut the crap. Are you going to get out or not? I told you that if your sister answers 3 of my questions, I'll let you go. I won't kill you. Nalo seemed to have made up his mind. This time, Huamin understood Nalo's English. He thought for a moment and said, I'll answer your questions, but you must let my sister go first. Chapter 34:28. You don't have the leverage to negotiate with me. Nalo looked at Huamin calmly and rejected her request in fluent English. Sis, I won't leave. How can I leave you behind? Can you answer me now? Or are we all going to die here? Different from Ian, Nalo wasn't afraid of Lu Yan's death threat or the threat of dying together with her. I'll answer. Sis. Lu Yan had little contact with this man and didn't know what kind of person Nalo was. If he was like Ian, then he must be a big jerk who went back on his words and wasn't trustworthy. Yan, this is our only choice. But Nalo isn't trustworthy, Lu Yan said in a low voice. Then we have to buy time. Mr. Qin will come to save us, Huamin said confidently. Hearing this, Lu Yan fell silent. Huamin turned his head and looked at Nalo. Ask me. I'll only answer 3 of your questions, Huamin emphasized. Nalo smiled faintly. Where's Hua? You mean Huxichen? Seeing Nalo only said the word Hua, Huamin repeated all the names to confirm. Nalo nodded. I don't know where he is. Miss Hua don't play tricks. Our people found he was secretly locked up in a prison in the suburbs. But when we went to break him out of the prison, he was gone. Lu Yan glanced at her sister and exchanged a look with her sister. She didn't want Huamin to tell others that the men in black had rescued Huxichen. The sisters had a tacit understanding. Huamin understood and answered, A few days ago, my sister fought with him. He broke out of the prison and escaped after killing for many years. You're lying. If he escaped, he would have contacted me. I don't know who else he can turn to except for me. Nalo was angry. It seemed that Huamin's words did not make sense in theory. This is the third question. Let me remind you. Huamin looked at Nalo. Then he continued, as for why he didn't look for you, I can only say that it might be because the one he ran away from was Jack, not Huaxiqian, so Jack came out. Nalo seemed surprised as well. The evil side of him that Huaxiqian had tried several times to control his brain with strong drugs to prevent from appearing had actually appeared. I'm not lying to you. That's what happened. I have another question, said Nalo. I'll only answer 3 of your questions, Huamin corrected. Ignoring Huamin's words, Nalo asked with a heavy heart. So, you're sure he's still alive, right? Nalo's men investigated for a long time before finding out that Huaxiqian had been secretly locked up by Qin Chu. He had wanted to save him long ago, but he was delayed by Ian's matters. The 2 brothers didn't have a good relationship, but they weren't enemies. But this time, because of Huaxiqian, Nalo seemed to have fallen out with his brother. He blamed Ian for forcing Huaxiqian to hand over Huaxiqian, which made him go to the extreme. Before Huamin could speak, a sports car screeched to a stop in front of the wonton shop. Nalo's men turned around alertly and aimed their guns at the person. The person was wearing a long black windbreaker and dashed over in the night. He rushed in and hugged Huamin. Honey! Smelling the familiar scent, Huamin felt relieved. Chapter 34-29. Mr. Qin, you came at the right time. Nalo seemed to know Qin Chu. Mr. Nalo, you came uninvited and harassed my wife in the middle of the night. It's annoying. So, do you think you can take the 2 of them away by yourself? Do you think you're a superhero who's invincible? Nalo chuckled. How can I? How can I be unprepared to meet you, Mr. Nalo? At this moment, Qin Chu raised his hand slightly and a red tit appeared on Nalo's head. It was obvious and dazzling. Seeing the red, Lu Yen smiled, impressed by her brother-in-law's ability. In such a short time, he had set up a sniper. Mr. Qin, what do you mean? If you move, I'll blow your head off, Qin Chu said casually. I just want to talk to your wife. I don't mean any harm. But my wife doesn't want to talk to you. I'm annoyed and angry that you're forcing me to do something against my will. Mr. Nalo, his subordinates didn't know what to do. But you know what? The sniper's position is fixed, and there are many blind spots in this store. As long as I quickly move to the side and hide in a corner, you won't be able to do anything to me. However, my subordinates will be able to instantly kill you. Is this really a wise move? It was Nalo's first contact with Qin Chu, and he found this man very interesting. He didn't know how Qin Chu played his cards, so he decided to test him to see who had the upper hand. If you're purely thinking that I came here alone, then you're wrong. Come look outside. Qin Chu pointed at the door. Nalo's subordinates were alarmed. More than a dozen people surrounded the door with heavy weapons in their hands. 5 or 6 people walked out of the crowd toward Lu Yen. Boss, are you okay? What are you doing here? Why aren't you sleeping? Lu Yen gave them a dirty look. We got the news and came here. We're worried about boss. Don't worry. I'm fine. Lu Yen didn't think it was necessary to alert so many people. It could be solved in a few minutes. Mr. Qin, did you bring so many people to fight us? Are you sure your pregnant wife won't get hurt in the chaos? In the end, Nalo glanced at Huamin's slightly bulging abdomen and found Qin Chu's weakness. Huamin was a little angry that she had been treated as a weakness. She raised her head and looked at Qin Chu's beautiful face. Hubby, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Yen will protect me. Don't worry. Don't be instigated by him. Yes, I know. Qin Chu turned his head, lowered his head, and gently kissed Huamin's slightly red lips. This kiss was very, very warm. In an instant, Huamin felt warmth spread all over his body. Psycho, don't bullshit me. If you want to fight, hurry up. It's just blood. This is what I do almost every day. Who the fuck are you trying to scare? Lu Yen was angry because she was afraid her sister would get hurt. She dashed out and came up to Nalo, glaring at him. Nalo's subordinates were all frightened, not knowing what the woman was going to do. They raised their guns and pointed them at Lu Yan's head. The atmosphere was tense as if the slightest sound would cause a world war. At this moment, Nalo's cell phone rang. Chapter 3430. Despite the tense atmosphere, Nalo still turned on his cell phone and picked up the strange video call. As soon as he opened it and saw the familiar scene, Nalo's expression changed. "Daddy, save me. Save us." A little German boy who looked to be only 5 or 6 years old had his hands and feet tied and was crying and shouting in German. Beside him was the boy's mother. Her hands and feet were tied and her mouth was sealed with tape. His family had been kidnapped. Yes, someone dared to kidnap Nalo's family. At this moment, Nalo's calm face changed. At this moment, the scene changed again. A silver-haired man was sitting on a bright red Russian-style chair. Wearing a dark blue double-breasted military uniform and black military boots, he leaned back in the chair and played with a tiny black remote control in his hand. "Ciao, Fei." Nalo was surprised to see the man on the screen. "Hello, Nalo. Long time no see." Xiao Fei looked up and smiled coldly. "Yeah, long time." "So, you harassed my wife as a gift for our first meeting?" Xiao Fei asked. Hearing Xiao Fei's voice, Lu Yan felt a lump in her throat. "Psycho Xiao," she murmured to herself. "So, you kidnapped my family too?" Nalo smiled creepily. "Yeah. What do you think? You don't have much time left. My wife's new bomb is very interesting. It only lasts 60 seconds. Even the best bomb disposal experts in the world won't have time to remove it before it explodes into pieces. Your child is very cute. Although you gave birth to him through a surrogate, he's still your son. I heard you love him very much. Xiao Fei, I'm very angry at you for doing this." Nalo didn't expect that Xiao Fei, who was in Russia, would have men in Germany. Furthermore, they had captured his women and children under such tight security. He didn't care about the woman since she had never slept with him or been intimate with him. But the child was different. He was his only son, even though he came to this world through a surrogate. Although he was born through a surrogate, he had built a deep father-son relationship with him in the past 5 or 6 years. "So, I don't have a choice, right?" Nalo inhaled deeply and said slowly. "Buddy, you have 25 seconds left." Xiao Fei kept playing with the small remote control and then looked at his watch. "Daddy, I don't want to die. Save me." The little boy seemed to know what he was about to face. He cried and begged Nalo. "Okay, I agree to let him go." In the end, Nalo raised his hands and compromised. But to be honest, even if Xiao Fei didn't intervene, he didn't plan to kill Lu Yan and Huamin. He had indeed only come here to seek the whereabouts of Huasiqian. However, Qin Chu and Xiao Fei seemed to be very desperate to protect their women. "Then why don't you tell your men to put down their guns and scram? If you scare my wife, my hand might tremble and the bomb might go off in less than 20 seconds. Drop the gun. Let's go," Nalo said. Lord Nalo, his subordinates seemed to be unwilling to give up. "All of you shut up and retreat." After Nalo finished speaking, he took the lead and led the others out. Xiao Fei smiled as he watched them walk out of the door. "Xiao Fei, let my son go." "Yes, Nalo only cared about the child. After you leave Sea City, I'll let him go. Don't play any tricks, or the bomb might go off at any moment." Then Xiao Fei cut off the video. With a grim face, Nalo got into the car and left the wonton shop with his subordinates. "Were you scared?" Qin Chu held Huamin in his arms and asked with concern. Chapter 3431. No, it's not a big deal. Sis, you're bragging again. How dare you criticize me? If someone hadn't insisted on coming out in the middle of the night, it wouldn't have happened. With a chuckle, Huamin pointed at Lu Yan. "Damn it. This shit-stirrer ruined a good meal. I'm not happy. Brother-in-law, I'm still hungry. Can you treat us to shrimp dumplings?" "Okay, let's go." Qin Chu didn't blame Lu Yan because he knew even if Lu Yan hadn't gone out tonight, Nalo would have come to find them. The three of them went to a Hong Kong restaurant for supper. The person who called Nalo was Xiao Fei, right? Huamin asked. Yeah. I think he kidnapped Nalo's son, Xianxia said. Son? Isn't that guy gay? Huamin was puzzled. Sis, that crazy Nalo is bisexual. His preferences are complicated, just like his psycho brother. Xiao Fei must have caught the child he gave birth to through a test tube with a surrogate mother. It said that he dotes on the child very much. It's rare that Xiao Fei would use this trick. He's so smart. Lu Yan chuckled. Look at how happy you are when you talk about Xiao Fei, don't talk nonsense. Sis, I'm in a cold war with him. Maybe he did it to appease me. After all, if I die, he'll be single forever. You're confident. Xianxia glanced at Lu Yan indifferently. Of course I'm confident. I'm a naturally beautiful and adorable girl. Who wouldn't like me? Lu Yan said narcissistically. But you're indeed adorable. Hurry up and eat. Looking at his sister's naughty face, Huamin felt helpless and put a shrimp dumpling into her bowl. Did Nalo only ask about Huasiqian? Nothing else? Xianxia looked at Huamin. No, he seems to be very concerned about Huasiqian. Of course. They're old lovers. They're gay and disgusting. Lu Yan didn't have a good impression of Ian and Nalo. Therefore, the moment he spoke, it was all profanities. They really do. Huamin was too embarrassed to ask. Xianxia didn't answer the question. He just reached out and touched Huamin's face. Don't worry, I won't let them hurt you. I'm fine, hubby. I'm not so cowardly now that I'm at the mercy of others. Huamin stuck out her tongue. After supper, the three of them returned to South Hill Manor to rest. Lu Yan didn't get up in the morning and slept until 10 a.m. When he woke up, there was no one at home. The twins went to school, Huamin went to work, and Xianxia went to the company. Even Huamin's in-laws invited their old friends out for a party. In her nightgown, Lu Yan walked downstairs in a daze. Miss Yan, do you want breakfast? I've prepared it for you, Uncle Li, the butler of South Hill Manor, asked kindly. No, I don't have an appetite. Am I alone at home? A young lady said that if you feel bored after waking up, you can go to South Side and have lunch with her. Okay, I got it. You guys go to your work. Don't mind me. In a daze, Lu Yan went back to her bedroom to brush her teeth and wash her face. She picked up her cell phone and was about to play a game when she saw the strange scenes in her WeChat moments. There were only 3 people on her WeChat: Pudding, Little Bean, and Huamin. However, she was still deeply abused. Pudding posted a picture of an exquisite handmade music box. It was very beautiful. She only added one sentence: Happy Chinese Valentine's Day. Little Bean's picture was more exaggerated. She added a picture of a black swan cake and a big teddy bear. It was super cute. What was even sadder was that she even posted a photo of her and Gao Boyu. It said, Gao Xianxin's cake really whetted my appetite. Damn it. What's going on? Is it Chinese Valentine's Day today? Lu Yan couldn't stand it and commented under Little Bean's picture. Chapter 34-32. Yeah. Auntie, do you want to come out tonight and show off the single dogs? Little Bean replied. I think I'm that dog. Of course not. Auntie, don't you have a boyfriend? But he's not here. I'm no different from a single dog. You can go find Handsome Sue. He's single too. Don't be ridiculous. I saw a girl in his house. The one who cooked for us last time. Lu Yan couldn't remember Zheng Rou's name. She's not his real girlfriend. You can spend Chinese Valentine's Day with Handsome Sue. Forget it. I'm afraid, Sue, you will be crushed. After eating hot pot with him last time, Lu Yan had a feeling that Xiao Fei was a freak. That was Xiao Fei, that big pervert. When he got jealous, it was scary. So, she wouldn't have too much contact with any guy. She didn't want to drag Su Yu down with her. Then, Lu Yan scrolled through her WeChat moments and saw her sister's post. It was a family photo she and Xianxia had hired a photographer to take for them. Xianxia's parents and the twins were all in the country. Huamin picked a photo of her smiling with her head down and Xianxia kissing her slightly bulging belly. On a sunny afternoon, this photo was very lovey-dovey. This time, Huamin only posted the photo and didn't post anything. But she still got a lot of abuse. Lu Yen also felt like she was being abused by her sister. "Sis, I'm going to block you," Lu Yen left a comment. "You only have 3 friends. It's not worth it to block me," Huamin replied. "You're a bad girl." Lu Yen began to whine. "Auntie, there's a party tonight. Do you want to come with us?" Pudding replied. "Who's organizing it?" "Uncle Tang. Uncle Tang and my auntie are coming back to China today. They'll arrive at the airport at 6 p.m. After picking them up, we'll go to Seductive Fox for a party." "But will I be tortured until I bleed from all my orifices?" Lu Yen couldn't imagine how out of place she'd be when everyone was a couple. "What are you afraid of? Let's play. It's better than staying at home alone. My daddy and mommy will be there." All right. We'll see when the time comes. I'm a little sleepy. I'm going to sleep for a while." That evening Su Yu and An drove to the airport to pick them up, but they only saw Tang Chuan alone. "Where's Qinning? She didn't come back." "Did they break up?" Wei Liao guessed. "Fuck you. Thanks. Ningning and I are fine." Tang Chuan went up and punched Wei Liao. "Then why did you come back on your own? Didn't you say that there was a party tonight?" "Yeah, it's my bachelor party." Tang Chuan smiled mysteriously. "What do you mean?" Su Yu was a little confused. "I'm going to propose to Ningning." "Fuck. That's fast." Su Yu wasn't prepared for it. "What soon?" "What's done is done. It's not good to get pregnant out of wedlock. I've decided to marry her as soon as possible. Look at old Wei's son, he's flirting with Dr. Hua's daughter. I don't want to wait any longer." Shameless. "We agreed to be single until the end of our lives." Su Yu complained. "I'm sorry. To make up for your loss, I asked Seductive Fox to find you a dozen girls with big breasts. I heard one of them is 36E. Enjoy." Su Yu rolled his eyes. The 3 men were very affectionate when they met. On the way to the nightclub, Tang Chuan suddenly said mysteriously, "Bro, you 2 have to help me this time. I want to propose to Ningning in a different way so that she'll be moved to tears." Chapter 34-33. She's so touched. "That's easy," Su Yu said as he drove. "Lord Su, do you have a good idea?" Tang Chuan couldn't stand still in the passenger seat and poked Su Yu with his finger. "Speak properly. Don't touch me." Su Yu kicked him. "Lord Su, please enlighten me." Tang Chuan chuckled. "You can buy a tube of mustard and stuff it into her mouth when she's not looking. I'm sure she'll cry." "Fuck? You're kidding me." Tang Chuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "If that's the case, I have a good idea. You can hide at the door and spray chili water on her face when she walks in. I'm sure she'll cry," Wei Liao said. "Are you 2 still my brothers? Aren't you tricking me? If I did that, Ningning would have kicked me to the ground." Seeing Su Yu and Wei Liao laughing, Tang Chuan glanced at them in disdain. "Forget it. I can't ask you 2 about such a good idea. I'd rather ask Pudding and Little Bean. Those 2 brats have good ideas." Finally, the car slowly stopped at the entrance of Seductive Fox. In a luxurious private room on the top floor, Tang Chuan, Su Yu, Wei Liao, and Jiang Shaowei arrived with their son. Then, Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling, and Jixin arrived with Bella. Qin Chu and Huamin were the last to arrive with Lu Yen. After they arrived, Wei Ying came as well. She sat down beside Jiang Shaowei and kept a low profile, barely speaking. Lu Yen was dressed casually today. She took out a light yellow dress with a bow on the collar from Huamin's wardrobe. It was quite surprising. After all, his foundation was much worse. Tang Chuan ordered the bar to make a lot of food and put it on the table, afraid that everyone would be hungry. Come. Don't stand on ceremony. Let's fill our stomachs before we drink." Pudding and Little Bean were also eating happily because there was steak, foie gras, French fries, onion rings, fried chicken, and black pepper spaghetti. They were all junk food that Huamin rarely allowed them to eat. Lu Yen wasn't interested. She sat in a corner, eating sunflower seeds and playing with her cell phone. Today is a happy day, Chinese Valentine's Day. It's not easy to gather with everyone. Come cheers. It was Tang Chuan's home court. He seemed very excited and kept raising his glass. Sister-in-law, you're pregnant. Just drink some soft drinks. You don't have to drink alcohol. Tang Chuan smiled at Huamin. It's fine. I'll just drink plain water. You guys can drink. Huamin sat beside Qin Chu and smiled faintly. Su Yu glanced at the plain water in front of Huamin and felt his heart ache. Ask the waiter to bring some hot water. How can a pregnant woman drink cold water? I'm fine. It's not cold anyway. Huamin didn't think he was that delicate. After Su Yu gave the order, a waiter immediately poured hot water for Huamin. Everyone glanced at Su Yu knowingly, making him feel a bit awkward. Tang Chuan helped his good friend out of the awkward situation. Lord Su, where's your girlfriend? Girlfriend? Tang Chuan's question confused Su Yu. She's the one called Ro. Tang Chuan couldn't remember. Oh, her foot hasn't recovered yet. She's at home. What does foot injury have to do with the party? We're not hiking. And go and bring her here, Tang Chuan said. Huh. And wasn't prepared. He glanced at Su Yu beside him. Bring her here. It's better to have more people. Besides, it's Chinese Valentine's Day today. How can you leave a girl alone at home? Gao Ren said. Hearing everyone's words, Su Yu couldn't refuse. He glanced at him and said, Go ahead. Okay, President Su. And walked out with his car keys and saw Lu Yan playing with her cell phone. Lu Yan, do you want to come with me? And asked out of curiosity. But Lu Yan looked confused. Chapter 34-34. President Su asked me to pick up Miss Sing Ro. I see you're bored playing games at the door. Do you want to come with me? If it were before, Su Yu would have nodded and agreed since he was bored anyway. But now, forget it. I won't go. It's too troublesome. You can go. Okay. And nodded and walked out. Soon he brought Zheng Ro back. Zheng Ro's foot recovered quickly, but she couldn't walk easily. Obviously, she was in a hurry and didn't dress up. Zheng Ro came out in a loose long-sleeved sweater. It was dark red with a black baseball cap. The pattern on the front of the sweater was a cartoon owl, looking trendy. Maybe because she didn't wear makeup, her complexion wasn't good. She looked haggard. Zheng Ro, come and sit here. Huamin was familiar with her. So he greeted her warmly. Zheng Ro nodded with a smile and sat down beside Su Yu, not far from Huamin. Sister, you came out in this outfit? Su Yu asked in a low voice. What? Did I embarrass you? Zheng Ro took a sip of the sparkling water on the table and smiled. Of course not. You'll only embarrass yourself. Su Yu bickered with her. I like to do embarrassing things and find it exciting. It's none of your business. Hey, I don't need to pick you up. Su Yu was angry. I didn't ask you to pick me up. Besides, I'm sure it wasn't you who suggested picking me up. You. Su Yu was so angry that he didn't know what to say. In the end, he gave up and ignored her. Instead, he turned to talk to Wei Liao. Zheng Ro, sister-in-law, right? Come on, let's drink. Tang Chuan was good at coaxing people. Seeing Zheng Ro and Su Yu bickered, he immediately coaxed them with sweet words. I'm not your sister-in-law. Just call me Sister Zheng Ro. Come on, you two are already living together. Aren't you my sister-in-law? Who would believe it? Sister-in-law, I have to thank you. When I was not in the country, I was most worried about Lord Su, the single dog. Now this difficult task has fallen on you. Not only did you save the single dog and satisfy his physiological needs, but you also made him look radiant. You're amazing. Come, let me toast you. Pooh! Su Yu almost spat out the beer in his mouth. Tang Chuan, your dirty jokes are getting worse and worse. Su Yu scolded. Thank you for the compliment. Hee, I will continue to work hard in the future. Tell me, Qin Ning is such a nice girl. How could she fall in love with someone as despicable as you? Su Yu jokingly scolded. Our Ning Ning said that she likes my dirty look. It's hard to find one in the world. Tang Chuan's words amused everyone, and the atmosphere lightened. But maybe because Tang Chuan's joke was too explicit, Zheng Ro blushed. She lowered her head and ate and drank silently, not interrupting, and had thought that with Zheng Ro's personality, she would create a lively atmosphere with the others. But it was the opposite. She sat quietly beside Su Yu and chatted with Huamin from time to time. "Where's Lu Yan?" Right. I heard that my sister-in-law Huamin's younger sister is extremely beautiful. Is it true? Come on, let me see. Tang Chuan was so excited that he suddenly thought of Lu Yan. Chapter 34-35. Where's Yan? Huamin hadn't seen Lu Yan for a long time. Auntie, come here. Little Bean stood on the stool and yelled excitedly. What's up, little baby? Lu Yan's voice was full of love. She stood up while playing the game. Yan, come here. Let me introduce you to my friends. Huamin waved his hand gently. Sis, it's not necessary. Auntie, my mom just wants to show you how many friends she has. Sis, I know all your friends. Then, Lu Yan said the names of each person present in front of everyone. Indeed, she knew all of them. With her excellent intelligence, she had investigated all the people around her sister. Sis, what kind of sister is she? I don't remember having a relative like her in our family. Jixin, who hadn't spoken much, looked at Huamin curiously. She is... Huamin didn't know what to say. We met when you were studying abroad, so it's not strange that you don't know her. Besides, I'm abroad most of the time and don't come back often. Lu Yan's brain worked quickly. Oh, I see. Does our mom know about it? Jixin thought it was strange. Since they were relatives, they should visit their mom in addition to their sister. I just came back. Sis has been busy, so we're going to visit Auntie Yang this week. The Auntie Yang Lu Yan mentioned was Jixin and Huamin's mother. To be exact, she was Huamin's adoptive mother. Mom will be so happy if she knows. Jixin believed Lu Yan's words and dispelled his doubts. Tang Chuan glanced at the little girl in front of him. She was indeed beautiful, but he felt there was something in her eyes. It was fierce and domineering. Little girl, you're Mion's sister, so you're just like us. When you come to Sea City, you can eat, drink, and have fun. Lord Su will pay the bill. Damn it. What does it have to do with me? Su Yu felt like he was being targeted. Because you're the richest. You're the super rich one, Tang Chuan said shamelessly. Su Yu received me warmly and asked him to play with me for a few days. Is it your turn next? I heard this place is yours. Can I drink and play as much as I want? Of course. Tang Chuan smiled generously. Then take out a bottle of 1958 red wine from the safe in your office. I'll drink it. Red wine is my favorite. Tang Chuan was speechless. He planned to open that bottle of wine with everyone on his wedding day with Qi Ning. Bought it from Sitzbit, was it? How did you know about such a secret? Tang Chuan asked curiously. Except for Su Yu and Wei Liao, no one else had mentioned this bottle of wine. Yan heard it from me. Huamin immediately came to Lu Yan's rescue. That's not right. Sis-in-law, how did you know? Tang Chuan was puzzled. Dr. Hua heard it from me. Su Yu immediately helped Huamin out. Lord Su, you've got no control over your mouth? Tang Chuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Are you willing to let me drink it? Lu Yan asked playfully. Of course, I'm willing to. I'll ask someone to go back and get it now. Tang Chuan was embarrassed to not take it. But at this moment, the tables turned. Mr. Tang, you're a real man and a true friend. Forget it. I was just joking with you. It's such a precious wine. We'll open it together after your wedding. Okay, you guys eat and catch up. I'll take a walk downstairs and smoke a cigarette to get some fresh air. Yend, don't fight. Be careful. Huamin doted on his sister and always nagged her. Got it? Lu Yan didn't like to attend such events because she didn't have many friends. She didn't know how to get along in such an occasion. She didn't want to deal with it, so she decided to leave. Lu Yan, I'll go with you. You always wanted to eat roasted sweet potatoes, right? I know where to buy them. and followed Lu Yen out of the private room. And, do you like me? Lu Yen stopped smiling and turned to look at him with complicated emotions in her eyes. Chapter 34-36. Lu Yan's simple and crude question made him unable to digest it. You're a man. Just say it, yes or no. Yes. I like you. Under Queen Lu Yan's pressure, and couldn't take it anymore. He didn't even have the ability to think before he confessed. This was very different from his original plan. He had wanted to take Lu Yan to a romantic place alone one day. Then he would lay out the foreplay and slowly confess. That way, he would have a better chance. He didn't expect that in such an atmosphere outside the private room of a nightclub, it was really, then don't like me in the future for 2 reasons. First, I have a boyfriend. Second, we're not on the same side. Then, Lu Yen turned around and left. And felt his footsteps were heavy. She had made it so clear, but he still followed her. Wasn't he being shameless? Although he felt that he was a stinky bodyguard, he still had his dignity. So, and came back after standing at the door for a while. Why are you back? Didn't you go out with Lu Yen? Su Yu was puzzled. Miss Lu Yen doesn't like to be followed. You can protect her if you go out. It's so late at night. Is it really okay for her to go up and down in the nightclub alone? Su Yu's thoughts were simple. It's okay. Aryan can protect herself. Don't worry. Huamin only prayed that Lu Yen wouldn't fight with others. After explaining it to him, Lu Yen didn't feel anything. She had experienced too many life and death situations over the years, so this kind of love entanglement was nothing to her. When she went out, she was surprised to see a few subordinates loitering at the door. Boss, why are you here? Don't tell me you're protecting me. Lu Yen was puzzled. No, we have something to talk to you about. We were just about to call you when you came out. You really have telepathy. Hurry up and say it. I'm going to eat skewers and drink beer later. Lu Yen had thought about it. After she ran out, she would find a roadside shop and eat some hot skewers and drink some cold beer. It would be great. Little did he know that his subordinates were guarding the door like little tails. Boss, there are too many people here. The news we are reporting to you is very important. It's not convenient to talk here. Let's talk in the car. His subordinate pointed at a black van not far away. It better be something big. If you dare to trouble me with something so trivial, I'll skin you all alive. Yes. Boss, please calm down. Her subordinate seemed to be used to Lu Yan's hot temper. She always spoke harshly, but in fact, she treated her subordinates very well and never blamed them. These people had learned Lu Yan's tricks over the years and didn't want to argue with their boss. Bored, Lu Yen crossed the street and walked toward the black minivan. Hey, do you think boss will kill us when he finds out the truth? It can't be. I think it's a surprise for boss. His subordinates looked at Lu Yan's back and muttered to themselves, feeling conflicted. Lu Yen opened the door and sat down. Before she could react, someone cupped her face and kissed her fiercely. His lips were cold, but there was also a familiar mint taste. It was very refreshing. If it were any other time, Lu Yen would have taken out her gun and started another bloody storm, but she knew she couldn't resist this familiar taste. Xiao Fei was here? Yes, Xiao Fei was here. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.